In our human resources study, we've reached the point where we've attracted and hired the best available candidate, and the next step is to develop that person for success. Success to the organization and success for the employee. In this unit, we'll take a close look at career development. This includes employee development, personal behavior, personality, behavior and performance, assessments, using an employee's job experiences, mentoring programs, coaching, career management, and the challenges of grooming managers and working with managers. Now, when we talk about training, we're dealing with programs to improve current job performance, but training is not a dead-end street for one job only. Now, training done right will support the employee's career development to eventually work into positions of greater responsibility and leadership within the organization. Career is a broad concept. Now, the concept of career does take into account the overall field of endeavor and how a person's interests, abilities, and values will change over time. Career development also takes into account changes in the work environment. When someone starts in a job, it's not likely that position will be the only work the employee ever does for the company. The employee will become more skilled, more knowledgeable, and more interested in not only the specifics of the job, but in other aspects of the entire field. Employees tend to want to grow in their value and contributions. The employee may want to progress into management or seek new positions that pay more or are more interesting. Maybe the employee even wants to be CEO someday. So staying on track and being effective requires active career management. Employee development takes a number of different paths. Different approaches work well in differing situations. There are formal educational programs. These include workshops and possibly degree programs such as going for a master's degree or maybe even a doctorate. Some programs are company-sponsored, handled either internally by the firm or where the firm will pay an employee's training through a college or a trade school. So how do organizations go about determining who needs and can use further career development? Now, this calls for an assessment. What are the individual employees' strengths or weaknesses? Which employees have the potential to do well as managers? How well do that person's attributes fit in with the needs of the whole organization? Would that employee offer attributes, skills, and abilities to help the whole team improve? An employee's past and current job experiences can be of value. What the employee learns on the job or has learned from previous forms of employment may indirectly be a part of the development process. Then there are the interpersonal relationships. Now, done right, these relationships may be the most effective means to teach the job and prepare for greater future roles. Mentors and coaches are invaluable guides. Often, an employee who reaches the top will cite those days of working alongside a more experienced worker as the best training of his or her entire career. Not only is knowledge of how to do a job passed along, but attitudes and values toward work and overall loyalty can rub off. An effective coach or mentor can even help the worker gain a deeper understanding of the organization and its customers. Career development takes into account the employee's personality, behavior, and performance assessments. In essence, an entire collection of information sources come into play, including communication style and skills. Assessments can come from observations from fellow employees, co-workers, managers, and even customers. This is also an area where the performance appraisal can play an important role in helping human resources and department heads decide who the best candidates are to move up the organization ladder. The performance appraisal offers an avenue for feedback from a variety of sources and can even take into account the results of psychological tests such as the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. This test determines what aspects of life energize a person, how the individual gathers information, makes decisions, along with attitudes about team building and leadership. This test consists of more than 100 preference questions. There's only one first job in a person's life, and from that point, the individual will have job experiences in day-to-day working. Now, over time, those experiences can be called upon in dealing with or understanding future situations. Basically, what we're saying sometimes is, I've seen this before. All through a person's working career, there will be a lengthening path of relationships, problems, demands, and tasks that can be used for future job reference. These experiences can lead to significant development when employee skills and experiences don't quite match the job at hand, creating the need to learn something brand new. And that in itself becomes experience for future reference. What the employee has done in this case is to stretch to meet new demands. A number of experiences support development. Now these include job enlargement, job rotations, transfers, promotions, downward moves from time to time, and even temporary assignments with other organizations. Coaches and mentors can play very important roles in employee development. A key advantage is that the personal contact can turn into a strong feeling of trust and respect between the mentor or the coach and the employee. A mentor is an experienced senior employee who helps a less experienced worker, often an up-and-comer. Now this relationship is informal, maybe even more of a friendship than you would find in a coaching relationship. Now there are cases, though, where a mentoring program can be formal. The program is successful when it is voluntary and the participants understand the program and its goals. Quite often, mentors and employees will choose each other. Sometimes a mentor relationship can develop when a senior employee simply shows an interest in the employee and begins to help that person along. The program is then followed up with an evaluation. Now, coaching is more structured and more formal than mentoring. The coach is a peer or a manager who works with an employee, often as part of an established program. The coach will work to develop the employee's motivation and skills. The coach will offer technical support and will provide feedback on the employee's progress. The coach works one-on-one and helps employees learn for themselves. The process of career management begins with gathering data, including career interests, values, aptitudes, behavior tendencies, opportunity for improvement, psychological tests, and career status exercises. Feedback is then provided throughout the process. The employee also takes a role by setting goals that are specific, challenging, and attainable. An action plan is then developed and eventually followed up. Businesses, especially large corporations, are beginning to realize the importance of planning for success within the organization. It's traditionally been common that a firm will not have a successor in place to replace the top manager and will lose valuable time operating in a leadership vacuum when the top boss retires, leaves, or is terminated. It's now an important part of human resource planning to prepare qualified employees to fill open management positions. Now this is done through selecting high potential employees and providing them with developmental experiences. Maybe the sitting CEO is actively involved in the grooming process. Finally, it falls upon human resources to deal with dysfunctional managers. The need is to correct problem areas. The process here is to analyze and devise solutions through a manager's personality, information, skills, and interests. There's providing feedback, training, and counseling in an effort to apply new behaviors to the job. Employee development is a long and an involved process, but one of the key functions of human resources. It's of immense value as it strives to achieve and maintain a well-run operation. People are generally considered the firm's greatest assets, and so a strong development program lays the foundation for future success. Next, we'll take up separating and retaining employees.